What's going on, everybody? I guess you're wondering, who exactly is the T-Share teacher? Well, that's me. My name's Jerry. I'm a teacher. I've been in the education world since 2000, so this is year 24. And, one of the things that I'm really passionate about when I'm not in the classroom teaching is technology and making sure that my family's taken care of and the people I love have everything that they need. And so I found this thing called crypto. But let's back up a little bit. So let's think back to, say early 2000, late 90s. I started running a business. I was selling computer hardware on eBay, and then I gave that up. And then later on, I started a business again. Again, selling stuff on eBay and toys and things like that, and going out and finding deals and selling them. And then I gave up on that. And then I went to doing some computer consulting, and I was doing SEO and websites and things like that. And after a couple of years, I gave up on that. And, sprinkled in there, married, kids, sports, school, work, lots of things. But one thing that's always been sitting there is I love getting into things and researching. And so it was December of 2020. Y'all know the time period that we're talking about, but I'm sitting at home and I'm just clicking through on some emails, and there was this email from PayPal. And it said, hey, if you buy $50 worth of cryptocurrency, at that point there was Bitcoin and there was Ethereum on PayPal to get, we'll give you a $10 coupon off your next purchase using PayPal. I was like, Yeah, so what I did was, I got it. I jumped in. Didn't think anything of it because I figured, hey, I could use that $10 coupon at my brewery that takes PayPal. Bam! I just saved $10 on beer. What a deal! I've already won. And this cryptocurrency thing seems pretty cool. So, mind you, that was the beginning of December 2020. By the end of January 2021, I had built my first Ethereum mining rig. It was simple computer, cost me just a little bit under $600 to build, and it was mining Ethereum. And then I got another graphics card and mined some more. And then another and mined some more. And then I had to build a whole nother rig. And then I built another rig. And so Ethereum stopped mining and I switched over, and now I'm mining Flux, which is a lot of fun. It's really easy, making money while I'm sitting there. That's awesome. Along the way, I got into some different coins, some of them that were called rebase tokens, and what those did was when you held them, you got more of them each day. And that was awesome, and the price went up, and I was like, oh, this is great, and I'm holding out, and then the price started to go down, and I just kept setting, well, if it goes down to this level, I'm going to sell it and get out. Well, I never did. I took a little bit out along the way, a little bit of profits to buy more graphics cards for mining, and but for the most part, I watched my portfolio go way up, and then my portfolio go way down. Fast forward a little bit farther, my buddy tells me about this thing called plsx. So I start checking into this guy named Richard Hart that is bringing out plsx and Pulse, and he already has a coin out called Hex, and I really started to research into it. And I finally said, you know what? I really like this Hex. I like the idea that you can buy a coin, that you lock it up for a period, and it's just like a certificate of deposit at the bank type ID, and you get more Hex. So I bought my first chunk of Hex. Come to Hex Day 1000. That was the day that I decided, you know what? I'm done giving up on these things. Starting something and giving up on it. I'm going to give myself a time lock, and at the end of the time lock, I'm going to get rewarded because of this wonderful thing called T-shares. So I made my first stake on day 1000. I figured, hey, what a great day. Jump in, nice round number, really easy for me to track. And you know what? Since then, well, let's see. I've gotten 20 times more hex on the Ethereum side. I've got about 14 times more hex on the Pulse side. And that was just because I kept building and building and building. And as I was buying more, I was putting them into stakes and getting T-shares. T-shares are the keys to all of this. So my goal with this channel is the idea to help out the average person. Namely, I would love to help teachers. I would love to help the education arena. I would love to be an educator in this. See where we're all going with this? Because I want those people who work super, super hard. Parent conferences, grades, daily planning, bringing kids out for recess, cleaning up after God knows what happens in the classroom, whether it's a normal class day or somebody gets sick or whatever. You never know what's going to happen in the classroom. But you know what? In my classroom here on this channel, I'm going to be walking you through step by step. I'm going to talk to you about where I had success. I'm going to talk to you about where I didn't have success, because knowing both sides is really important. And I'm going to give you some tutorials along the way. I'm going to point you in the way of some of the people that have helped educate me along the way, because really the T-share is power, and that power is super important. With Hex, it's better to have time in the market than timing the market. And a lot of influential people that I've paid attention to with Hex and with Pulse Chain and plsx, that's a common statement. And it's because it's very true. So give me a chance, subscribe, like, hit that bell button down there, and see what I've got coming. I'm going to try and post as much as I can. I got teenage boys and a wife. My life is pretty busy, but we're going to try and get through as much as we can. Now is the time for you to take action. Now is the time for you to get into cryptocurrency, this amazing new technology. It's not really new now because Bitcoin's been around for so long, but it's still emerging, it's still growing, it's still getting better. It's so cool, it gives you things to find out about and learn about, and that's what's important. And in the end, hopefully, if you follow some of the really good ideas and principles that we're going to be talking about throughout this channel, hopefully both of us will have some good generational wealth. With that, I'm Jerry, the T-share teacher. We'll see you next time when we're going to talk about what we need to do before we get started. One last thing. Something that I think that's really important. Be excellent to each other. And crypto on, dude.
He's a T-share teacher, no knowledge to unfold. He's got X, pulses and balls, X in his home. Spreading the word of truth, defy petty long-term gains. That's a key. On a revolution, it's time to rise. And let the power reach for the skies. T-share teacher leading